Okay, just for a disclaimer, that this is just my point of view. Okay, it can be a different style, and it always can be your own style. Okay, so it is not necessarily whatever that I presented today or before. Okay, whatever that I have presented and whatever that I'm going to present today is a fixed style. Whatever that you wish to do, I mean, that's your privilege to do it. Okay, so writing, scientific writing, of course, there are some certain guides, but how you do it is actually quite, I mean, you have the freedom to write in your own style. Okay, so as I mentioned, before you can do any scientific writing, you have to do a lot of reading. So this is why I'm talking about reviewing strategies. But I think you have gone through the AI assisted literature review search. So that is a very good tool to use, which I don't have during my time. So probably what I will be presenting today is not really relevant, but still, okay, it's just some guide for some of you. So using AI to assist your literature study now is very important. Get used to it because you are going to need it, because publication now are moving very fast. Yeah, because now, because of the tools, because of the AI tools, so the publication are very fast. So if you don't publish, okay, your work at a faster rate, then probably your work will be obsolete. Yeah, meaning that someone else has published it. So it's not really because the publication rate now is very fast. So you have to do it faster. So you have to make sure that you have the skill to review all the literatures in a faster way, and also writing in a faster way. Okay, so this is no longer uh, probably relevant to you. Okay, so of course, writing a paper requires a very um, diligent, uh, nerve-wracking, and all sorts of things. You have to be patient. Okay, so there are, of course, peer review process that waits for you before you can have your paper accepted. Right? Sorry. So this is how I view the reviewing process, and you can combine this with the AI assisted, okay, AI assisted literature review, okay, so that the papers can be classified, okay, according to your needs. All right. So once you have all the papers classified uh, according to your needs, you can also classify what are the important things from the paper that you wish to know. For example, if you're thinking about preparation methodology, then you can ask the AI to extract the information from that group of uh, published papers. So that makes things easy. Yeah, because this is like what I'm going to present is more on manual type of doing things, but still, you have to read the papers. Okay, just don't rely on AI, because reading make you think critical. Okay, because if you just rely on AI, probably you will not be doing the thinking. So thinking is something that you need to do by yourself. Okay. um Reading critically, what does it mean by reading critically? You When we read, it's not like we read from uh, the start of the paper until the end. Okay, is we are searching for important information that we need. So that's why probably when we have 5 papers, 5 to 10 papers, um, we don't read from the beginning until the end. But let's say today I want to have information on material used for the preparation of ABC, for example. So according to my point of view, what you do for with the 5 or 10 papers, you screen for the material only. Okay, so you look at critically for that material published for the material published in that 5 or to 10 journals, and you make comparison of all the performance with different kind of materials. So let's say this is day one, and then day two, you would like to know the preparation method, for example. So day two, by using the same papers, the 5 or 10 papers that you have, you screen for methodology, means that the preparation section. Okay. So what is the good thing? What is the weaknesses of paper one, paper two, and so on. Okay. So the same papers can give you different information every time you read it. Okay. That depends on what you are looking for. So that is for me reading critically and thinking critically, because once you read, you need to make comparison. Yeah. So for me, if you just read one paper and the next day you read another second paper, but you don't make comparison based on certain aspect, so I don't think it's going to be uh, informative. So now you have your AI helping you to make comparisons and group the informations for you. So it is much easier. So you can just extract the information from the AI assisted, and then you can do your own thinking. Okay, the AI has done the part for you, but you also need to do your own thinking, evaluating the informations given by the AI. Okay, so right critically, I postpone this to the next section. Okay, so if you have any question, just stop me. So in my point of view, the best way to learn how to write is to, of course, if you are writing thesis, is to read a good thesis. Okay, on thesis we'll be having another session on to writing thesis. But today we just want to talk about writing review and working papers. Okay, so how to learn to write a good review is, of course, by reading a good journal, a good reviews from prestigious journal. I mean, is that a good uh, like top 10%, top 5% Q1 journals? You already knew about the quartile system, the Q1, Q2, Q3, and the rest. Okay, so you should be able to read, and if you read uh, the top 5% and compare it with the Q4 or Q3 journal, then you should be able to differentiate the quality of writing and the quality of reviewing based on this prestigious journal and a lower quality journal. So you should be able to learn from how the good journals, the authors of good journals write compared to the lower quality journals. Okay, so it's for me, in whether you want numbers or you want quality, that one is up to you. But you want how many journals published, or based on how quality, whether you want to publish fewer journals but with good quality. So that is up to you. Yeah. So what is literature review? Okay, this is also as I mentioned, you have done the AI assisted, but this is the things that we are looking for uh, when you do literature review, is to establish the terms and context. Yeah, presents a survey of preceding literature. Okay, explores the way that others have solved similar question problems, outlines the relationship of these texts to each other, evaluate the quality and relevance, establish the gaps or inadequacy, demonstrate your scholarly. Okay, these one are all things that should be in your mind before you start to do literature review. Okay, so terms and context depends on you. What information that are you looking for? Is it on the material? Is it on the limit of detection? Is it on the um, improvement of method of preparation? So you have your own context before you start to read the literature. Okay, and of course, the second information is very important because you need to know about the novelty, the gap. Okay, whether a lot of people have done it, so it shouldn't be unless there is a very significant room for improvement, then you do it. If not, then if you just do it for the sake of getting your master's or PhD done, then probably you will someday have difficulty in publishing your paper because of the novelty. All right. Again, the third point also support the second point. You want to know what others have uh, solve the similar issue. Okay, how do they approach? Okay, how is their how well they achieve their achievement, whether they have solved the problems, or you probably have different way of solving the problems. And then okay, the rest are just right. So the next one is almost similar to the second one, the previous slides, but this is the way the thinking skill that should be uh, with you right now. Uh, you are supposed to be up here, higher order thinking skill, hot, okay, HOT, hot. You should be able to create your own ideas and you should be able to evaluate someone else's point of view or your own point of view. So these are the things that you should have in you at this level, PhD or masters. You should be able to evaluate, you should be able to um, think about that published paper, whether it is good, whether it is not good, according to your knowledge, whether the paper is a weak paper and the scientific presentation of the data is not satisfactory. So at this level, you should be able to do to evaluate that, and you should be able to create your own thinking, saying that it should be done like this because of A, B, C, and the author should not do it because you think blah blah blah. Okay, so these are very important because once you have this thinking level, then you can write better and you can debate better. You can rebut. Yeah, one of the skill that you need to have when submitting a scientific paper, whether it's review or working paper, you need to be able to answer rebuttal. Okay, so this is something that you need to have. So I'm not saying that okay, you have different demonstrating how knowledge. This is common understanding, but as postgraduates, you should be able to be here, create, evaluate, and create. Yeah. Okay. So this should be the questions. I think that should be with us whenever that we want to read, whether it's paper, whether it's textbook, reference book. Okay. If you're searching for methodology, then what is your objective before you read the paper? Is the research aim achieved? So how did they do it? Meaning that when you read the scientific paper, what is your aim? and is their aim achieved? Okay, be careful about the data. That's why you need to evaluate whether the data published on that paper is scientifically sound, or is as I mentioned before, you might think that it's a bullshit. Okay, it's not really scientifically strong. But if you, that's why you need to read a good tiers, journal of higher tiers like Q1 and top 10%, top 5%, because the screening process is more rigorous compared to the Q4, probably Q3 and Q4, if there is below than that. Okay, so reading good journals and looking at the scientific, whether it is scientifically sound, justified, or satisfactory, is very important, because if you don't know to evaluate whether this journal is good or that journal is not, is good or is not good, then you might be citing some papers which is not scientifically sound, or it can be challenged. So there's a lot of sometimes the journals has to be retracted, certain fraud. Okay, so we don't want that to happen in our journey of studying as a postgraduate. Yeah? So you must be able to uh, evaluate the scientific data and the scientific results being published in the journal. Okay, was it a strong or weak research model? That depends on the um, field of research. Okay, so you should be able to know if you are doing related to material. So you should be able to know the, not to say the threshold, uh, the cutting edge. Yeah? The cutting edge. What is the cutting edge research in that particular research field? Like for myself, I'm doing biosensors, so I should know what is the level now, what is the cutting edge technology now. So that's why I have, when I read papers, okay, I know this is, because I have a lot of invitation to review papers for publication. So whenever I read the first even the abstract and the title and the even the abstract, the graphical abstract, I know that this is not novel. This is something that people have done a lot, and there's nothing new in this publication. I would have I actually reject the paper. Okay, so I reject a lot of papers uh, for as a reviewer. Okay, because you know already what is the cutting edge, and if they send to like a very high impact journal with that kind of research, definitely I have to reject the work. So how will this research help with your own research? Means that that's what you want from reading, right? What can you take from it? What needs to be avoided? What are you doing differently compared to the literature? So as I mentioned from the beginning, you don't read the whole thing starting from the paper, the title until the end, because you have your own intention, you have your own objective. So today you would like to search for the method of preparation. So you focus on method of preparation. The introduction part probably is not really important for you, but you are searching for the method of preparation. What are they using? What are the parameters? What are the temperatures? What are the pressure probably? What are the conditions? And how and what are the results they are getting from that kind of parameter control? So probably that is the most important for that day you want to search. So you jot down, or you whatever you need to record that in whatever style that you wish. Some people put in Excel, but for me I just prefer doing writing down in my logbook. Okay, so based on this journal, They are using this method of preparation, and the results that is interesting from this method of preparation is having what, smaller material or probably high yield. So you jot down whatever that you wish to obtain from that literature. Okay, so if you read just like a normal reading, for example, if you read novels, of course you read from the beginning until the end. But that is not scientific way of getting information, because information for that day is not probably not the same. You will repeat reading the same journal, but with different intention, different objective. Today I want to know about something else, but you still read the same journal. Okay, so this is what I call critical thinking and reading critically. Okay, so it's not similar like reading a novel. Okay, so remember about the quality of journal. Okay, so please also be careful with some of the overclaim. Yeah? But usually this doesn't happen in good journals, but this happen in news. Yeah, like if we are scientists, we usually report in terms of percentage. Like we destroyed 10% of cancer cells. Like this is what we report. But when it comes to uh, especially mass media, and they will use bombastic word like cancer cured, but it's just 10% actually. So that's why when we read literature, be careful about the overclaim. And then also when you write paper or when you write thesis, please do not overclaim. Or when you conclude, please conclude based on the data. Yeah, there is no such thing as you can claim that, oh, it works, it is superb, it works tremendously. No, because we science based on percentage. If it is working up to 30%, then we might say there is a possibility we can increase the 30% with what improvement in terms of blah blah blah, because you know already what should be improved, but you only have limited time during your PhD. You cannot do like 8 years of PhD. Okay. So, but you know, if you improve certain parameters, you will get a better one. But in terms of time, you only have 3 or 4 years to complete your PhD. So that's why you have to, you can give suggestion in thesis, but uh, in terms of reporting, you report what you have. You report what data that you obtain. All right. So this is regarding if you are to write review papers. Yeah. If you are to write a review paper, you have to search for the topic. Okay. Um, because this is also relevance to working paper, but this one is before you start your project. Okay, so I think you have done that with Prof. Intan. Okay, but in order for you to write a review paper, you also need to do research, because you need to know whether the topic or the problem has been widely discussed. Okay, if it is widely discussed, then you will have competitors, of course. You will have challenges in reviewing, okay, because there's so many review papers on that particular topic. Then, of course, you will find difficulty in writing the review paper. So you must know again the cutting edge technology in your research field. Okay, so you must know the cutting edge technology, and you know that this is something new. Okay, the usage of blah 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 in development of biosensors, and you know this is something new, and you think based on your literature studies that still there are not many papers on that particular topic. So you can start thinking, writing a review paper on that particular topic. So it's not always about um your own uh, title. It's not always, I mean, you can write review papers, but it's not always about your title. You can go beyond that. For review papers, you can go beyond your own PhD or master title. Yeah. But still, of course, in your research field. So it can be considered. So I don't know whether it is considered for your graduation, but when you write review papers, the good thing about review papers is if you write a good one, you will get a lot of citations. You will get high citations in short time. Okay, that's one thing, a very good thing about writing a review paper. So if you wish to be a well-known scientist one day, start writing review papers because that will give you a lot of citations and people will start knowing you, noticing you as probably a well-known scientist one day. So what methodological assumption? Okay, this one. Are there any trends and patterns? Okay, this is a good an important point. What are the trends and patterns across the literature in your particular field? So what are they doing? What are people? What is the noise now on that research, on your research? What are they talking about? Okay, for example, for my field of research, which is biosensor, they are talking about one is the marker, molecular marker. The other one is on the engineering part, which is wearable, implantable, all sorts of that sorts of things. So I have to be not to say up to that level, but I have to aware that is the uh, cutting edge technology. So if I wish to do research proposal, so if I wish to do review paper, then I have to keep up to that level. Okay, so that is something that you need to do. And what agreement and disagreement between theories on my topic is that one is not really an important issue because we always base on theory. All right, so let's look. The other one is just a moment. I'm talking about there are when you start submitting papers, review papers or scientific working papers, you will have someone disagree with you because agree or disagree is about school of thought. Yeah. So don't worry because this is quite normal. Uh, but of course, we have certain scientific things that we agree upon, but there are certain things that probably scientist A does not agree with scientist B, but these are what we call as disputes. So don't worry. Just have your evidence. I mean, you publish based on your evidence. Yeah, scientific evidence from theory, scientific observation from your experiment, and your experiment, when you read the theory, the textbook is relevant, is correct, so don't worry about that. Okay, I have experience where people challenge my papers. So a few times, I don't know, there's someone. So very detailed scientific argument that I have to answer. Okay, but it's okay. I mean, we just answer accordingly. Okay, this is what he commented, and this is what I believe that is happening in the research. So whenever that you do, please understand the science behind it. So don't just uh, uh, put your results uh, without understanding the why factor. Why you get it increasing? why you get it decreasing, and why your observation behavior is like this. Okay, but you must understand, because let's say your results is challenged by someone, and that someone gave a very good scientific uh, explanation, and you don't understand what is happening, then you'll be in big trouble. Okay, so even that you have published the paper, you might have to retract the paper. So please be careful. You have to know what you think, what you are doing, and what you write. Okay, so don't just put things without knowing. So this one, of course, I'm talking about the uh, again, just now, what I talk about is the strength and weaknesses of these debates, of the disputes between the scientists. What evidence is lacking, inconclusive, or limited? What will you add the topic? What will you do differently? So this is about the dispute just now. So if you know your things, if you know your science, then it should be okay. Okay, this one is basic. When you write a review paper or scientific working paper, you need to write an introduction. So that is very important. Introduction, overview of the topic. Do not be too general, but it's more like putting in your problem statement in the introduction as well. Uh, what you want to highlight the problem of, and together with that is the solution. So that will be in the introduction. Paragraph structure depends on the publishers, because some journal publishers have different paragraph structures. So you have to read about the format carefully. Make sure the subject of your sentence is clear. Okay, don't assume knowledge. Make sure key terminology and difficult ideas are always explained thoroughly. Okay, so explanation is very important in writing, scientific writing. Okay, because in science you don't explain something not clear. You have to be clear before you write the idea, before you present your data. You are clear about the data, and you are clear on the scientific uh, reasoning behind the data, and you know that it is making sense to you. Okay, because you don't want to publish something vague, not clear, and expect the reader will understand your idea. No. Okay, you yourself have to be confident and very clear before you can write it. Be objective and balanced. Use signpost to orientate the reader. Okay, this one. This one I think is let us look at the example later, right? Uh, begin section. Okay, this is the sections. You have the method section. You have the conclusion, data. Okay. These are words. Paragraph, topic, sentence, discussion of topic, closing sentence, thematic, logical progression from one. This is the flow progression from one paragraph to the next. Demonstrate links in your language. This is storytelling skill. Okay, so it's not just verbally, but storytelling skills also has to be reflected in writing as well. So when you tell story, of course, there is a link between between the paragraph. It cannot be like the paragraph die there, and then you just talk about another thing in the second paragraph. So there should be a nice flow between the paragraph. Avoid list-like structure. Okay. This is something that you don't do in thesis, and you don't do in scientific writing, because you have to use sentences. Okay, you don't use list like structure. Try to avoid list. Okay, you write sentences. So when you write sentences, you have to use all the proper words to combine the to have a good sentences. Okay, right. Two types of citations. Okay, so this is different way of citing. Lilies, okay, argues that both is all right. The author's name appears outside sentence. Okay, so you can do both. Okay, citation in terms of the dominance. Okay, let me off this one. Citation and writer's voice. Writers is you. Okay. The Moon is Made of Cheese by Brie 1999. Brie 1999 argues that the moon is made of cheese. As Brie points out, the moon is made of cheese. According to Brie 1999, the moon is made of cheese. However, okay, this is however, and you start giving your own opinion. Brie 99 argues out that the moon is made of cheese. However, so these has different strength. Whose voice is dominant, the writers or the original authors? The original authors in this case is Brie, right? So in a writing style, there is different, what do you call, perceive. Yeah? The writer will perceive different way when you write in different styles. So that's up to you, what you want the reader to perceive, yeah, your idea. All right, so for this part is done. If you have any question, please do stop me, okay? So I'm going to move to another one, which is the example. Stop share this one. Just a moment. So you can see the PDF now, right? So the title of the review paper is Applied Body Fluid Analysis by Wearable Design. Wearable Devices. Okay, so because my field of study is more on sensors, so I cannot like run away from this kind of example. Okay, so this is quite new, and I know this which one, Jean Dinser personally. So whenever that he publish a new paper, he will share it in Facebook. So that's how I get opportunity to read a new paper. So this is published in Nature, and so as you know, Nature is very uh, high quality with high impact factor. Okay, do dream to publish in this kind of journal. So as I mentioned, in my field of research, the cutting edge technology now is about wearable devices. Means this is the engineering point of view to miniaturize the sensor, and then you can wear it. It can be implantable. So based on my knowledge, this is the cutting edge technology for sensors, be it chemical sensors or biosensor. So since I know this, I whenever that I want to do research proposal application, this should be in my mind because I know it's still novel. It is still something people are working on. Okay, and but again, what are the technologies? Okay, so wearable device is not that new. Okay, there are so many wearable device on the market already, just like smartwatch, and especially smartwatch, I think. But the problem is smartwatch and all those wearables, they are based on physical um, parameters. Yeah. So it's not body fluid analysis. Okay. So that's why this author, the Brazier, Noah Brazier, is writing on focusing on body fluid analysis, because if he just write about wearable device, it's already a lot in the um, on the papers in the market, so it's going to be very difficult to do a good review paper. But there's not a lot. Yeah, there's not many of wearable device that talk about or discuss about body fluid analysis. So let's look at the structure of a review paper. It's already 10. All right. I think this one. All right. Just if I use this, is much better. Let me remove this. Cancel. So of course, for me, my experience writing uh, abstract, writing abstract for review paper is quite difficult, because we are used to writing abstract for working paper. We know it's just introduction and main methodology and main observation, what are the main results, and you have conclusion. But for review paper, it's not that, because we are talking about, sorry, let's move manually, it's easier. Okay, so you can see that if we look at the abstract, wearable sensors are recent paradigm. Okay, these are more on introduction. Okay, these are more on introduction. Although most wearable sensors were initially restricted to biophysical measurement. This is the one that I talk about. If you use like smartwatch, this is based on biophysical. But the next generation, so he's talking about, this is what he wants to talk about, which is the next generation of wearable device, enable biochemical monitoring, which is the biofluid analysis of both small and large molecules and a variety of body fluids such as sweat, blah, blah, blah. So this is the focus of his um, uh, papers. Okay, and he also highlight the issues. Although recent pilot trials have demonstrated the clinical applicability of this wearable device, their widespread adoption will require large-scale validation, meaning that more clinical data has to be obtained. Yeah, this is definitely very true. All right. And the wearable device platform must gain acceptance among different users. Of course, we need to know the perspective of users and add clinical value for various medical indications, be eligible for reimbursement. This one, probably his view. In perspective, we review. Okay, so the last sentence is the saying that this is what we actually want to present in this paper. So in this perspective, we review state-of-the-art wearable devices for body fluid analysis and their translation into clinical applications, and provide insight. Provide insight is their point of view. Okay, so you can see that this is how they write abstract. A good abstract for review paper. You start with common general things on that particular matter, and then you highlight what is lacking in the review papers. Okay, right? And then you put in your thoughts. Okay, like the certain things that you still lacking. and then you start, you give probably 1 or 2 sentences on what you are presenting in the review papers. Okay, so let's look at introduction. Again, the introduction sort of extend the abstract. The current generation of commercially such as smartwatches can readily track mobility and vital signs. But although, heart rhythm using I don't know how to pronounce this. Photophlatismography has revolutionized atrial fibrillation screening. Biophysical devices cannot perform precise biomolecular monitoring. So this is the one issue that he wished to highlight. All this about biophysical, but not on biomolecular. So now he expand the issue by talking about the samples such as sweat, ISF, breath sample, and then the recent successful, the issues on that matter, they could help. What is the importance of using body fluid analysis, okay? All right, and certain other issues. All right, so he start by uh, reviewing the first topic, wearable devices for body fluid analysis. So I believe you look at how they write wearable sensors, okay? You have supplementary table 1. So table is very important when you are doing sort of a summary, okay, for the already published technologies. In this case, the wearable device for body fluid analysis. So you put it in a table, okay. I have actually attached this paper in Putra Blast. You can download that. These sensors rely on, okay. So these are discussion of existing body fluid analysis technology, and he focused on the sample type, okay. In this case, like sweat, interstitial fluid. Okay, if you don't know what is interstitial fluid, it's actually a fluid just under your skin. Yeah? It's not deep skin, it's just under your skin. And it represents um, um, what do you call biomarkers existing in the peripheral blood, which is good. Yeah? So discuss every uh, because the most important in biofluid analysis is the sample type. So in this case, sweats, ISF, and exhale breath. If we're talking about blood is common. So we don't, for wearable sensors, to be able to do analysis for bodily fluids, they avoid blood because we do not want invasive technique. So sweat is not invasive, ISF is not invasive. Of course, breath analysis is not invasive. Yeah, we're talking about breath. All right, so let's look at why. Right. So this is the example of okay. So this is the example. So you can see a very clear, nice pictures. Okay, this really contributes to a good publication if you have a good figures, for good photos and good explanations. So you can see that this is example of wearable device, and they are talking about combinations of AI, okay, software processing with the uh, hardware, okay. And if you are citing someone else's work, please ask for permission first before you can put it in your journals, in your publication, especially if you're talking about um, doing review paper. So this is for breath analysis, okay, using mask. And so I think the rest you can just read this paper, which I have put in the Putra Blast, to look at what are the perspective that they are discussing. So just now I showed about a different type of sample, but if you look in detail, the author also talk about the perspective of clinical trials, patient-centered innovation process, meaning that the how is it patient friendly or it's not friendly. Okay, so in review paper is you have the freedom. Okay, you have the freedom to talk about anything that you want, which is related to the your research field, because you think that this is still lacking, and this is what people want. This is what the best that should be discussed. So it's not really restricted like scientific writing, sorry, like working paper, that you are obliged to talk about your data and the conclusion, the observation from your data. But for review paper, you have the freedom to talk about other things related to that particular field. So it's quite interesting. Yeah, you can talk about the science, you can talk about the what people think about the technology as well. So it's good. Yeah. So if you look at here, standard of care, molecular analytical techniques, this is like the common things, the common that people are still using: extract the blood, or having saliva sample, and then you go to the lab, run some analysis. Whereas if you have applied body fluid analysis of wearable device, these are the steps that you can do. You can just stay at home, do the protocols at your home, and then you have those AI assisted software to run the analysis, and coming out you have probably the same conclusion with the same standard step above. Okay, so this is what we call as graphic information, give the reader a better understanding about the idea of having a body fluid analysis by wearable device. Probably is a new way to do things compared to still doing things like going to the hospital, giving samples, send to the labs, and get the results after probably a week or a month. All right, and probably it's too late for the diagnosis to be whatever disease to be treated. So this is the power of using graphic as well, to strengthen your idea, to strengthen your justification, apart from discussion in a text. Yeah, so that's why giving your idea in a graphic form is very important. It's an important skill, right? So now we are 10:24. So I think I will just uh, discuss about the second assignment. So the scientific writing part for the working paper, we can discuss next week, which is on Monday. So I would like to share um, what I have put in the Putra Blast. So this is what is in the Putra Blast. Okay, the today that we have discussed on the review paper example. Okay, I have not discussed on the normal working paper, so we can do that next week. But what I would like to highlight here is about the second assignment. Mm. Right. So the first assignment, because I know that some of you join a class very late, so I hope that everybody has settled this with Prof. Intan. So any of you has not done the first assignment, please text me personally, because if you miss this 20%, then it's not going to be good, right? And the second assignment that I'm going to talk about is about group assignment. That's why I need you to be today in this class, because I need to group you into two groups. Okay. So what you need to do, the instruction is clear in the Putra Blast. Uh, I will show you what is group one title and group two title after this. But what you need to do first is to understand how to do it. And you will have the title, you will have the supporting information together, all this in here. So the first thing that I want to do is to divide you into groups. Okay. So how I will do it is to split you into rooms, yeah, breakout rooms. So you will be instructed to enter the room, okay, get to know your members, and then we will regroup to explain about the how you do the assignment. Okay, now is the breakout rooms. Okay, I will get you into two groups. I'm opening all rooms. Please join. Okay, please join as soon as possible. Jia Yuping and Chai Isni. Yuping, you have a problem joining the room two? Jia Yuping? Muhammad Izni, are you there? Muhammad Izni, are you there? You have problem with your internet to join? All right. Is Muhammad Izni and Yuping here? You have problem joining your room? Hello? Muhammad Izni? Yuping? Jia Yuping? Okay, so I don't know what happened to these two. So get to know your members before I close the room. Get to know your members before I close the room, yeah? Right. Okay. Can I ask Muhammad Izni, are you here? Muhammad Izni? Mm. Jia Yupeng, are you here? Well, I don't know what happened to these two. Muhammad Izni is supposed to be in group one, and Jia Yupeng, you're supposed to be in group two. All right. So I just want to highlight that since your evaluation is 70% based on assignment, which is coursework, so very important for you to complete this coursework because it's going to be the main contributors to your marks. Yeah. So I don't want anybody to fail this subject and you have to repeat. No, please don't do that because it's quite easy to pass. If you do your assignment, then it's okay. Yeah. And the assignment is designed to make sure that you understand all this what we are doing in the research methodology, and it helps you to understand your postgraduate studies as well. Right. So I assume that everybody is back to the main room. Okay, so I'm going to discuss about what are the tasks that you need to do. Okay, later we will look at the assignment in detail, but the general task will be you have to do meetings among yourself and it has to be recorded. So conduct a minimum of 2 recorded meetings. Do it as a role play because the assignment will be based on different prospect. Okay, so role play acting in actual situation. So one of the meeting considered as reporting the final output, meaning that one of the discussion has to be like you report to each other about your findings. And then there is also some questions to be answered in the handout, right? And submit the written report according to your actual role, meaning that I will not be giving you specific format for written report, but depends on the role that you're playing in the assignment. Okay, so PBL here is problem-based learning. Yeah, what is PBL? Is problem-based learning. You might be asking, why am I doing this? Okay, so you have to understand that when we design courses, we have to like put what is the objective of this course. So, and there are certain what we call as learning objective, program educational outcome that we have to fulfill. So it's not just academic. One of the outcome has to be like communication skill, um, collaboration skill, presentation skills. So we cannot evaluate those skills just from answering questions or just from writing reports, but we have to observe that your skills. So that's why you have to record the meetings. Okay, so please make sure that everybody contribute to the meetings because you're going to have individual marks. It's not going to be everybody has the same marks. That's why you need to record the meetings properly and has to be submitted. Yeah, it depends on you whether you want to submit the whole uh, record recorded file or you can just send me the link. So minimum of 2. Yeah, one is planning meeting, the other one is reporting meeting. Okay, so let me show you the title is all about. Okay, stop share this one. Okay, it's not here. Okay, just let me just a moment. Yeah. Um, Can I ask what is the screen that you're looking at right now?
PDF of your,
PDF, yeah?
yeah, Prof.
PDF, okay, all right. So this one should not. I need to get my cable. Just a moment, yeah? Stop share this one. Just give me a moment to power my laptop. So now you can see a sticky situation, right?
Yes, Prof.
All right. So I think, so this is for group one. Okay. So this is for group one. We will open group two after this. All right. So just remember back the task, the list of tasks that you need to do. So you have to act like in the situation, and you have to do a role play meeting, a minimum of 2 meetings, recorded meetings, with your group members. Okay, a sticky situation. So let's look at what you need to do. This is just actually the skills that should be obtained from this practice. All right. Okay, so these are informations on the problem. All right. We have licensed our oil formulation to global resource energy exploitation in Australia. Okay, so grid chairman is opening a new ski resort. His car breaks down after the press conference. Okay, so this is sort of the story behind. Okay, and this is the chronology of the events happening. So now imagine you have licensed your oil formulation to this company called Grid. Okay, means that you have sell your technology transfer. And the Grid chairman is opening a new ski resort. His car breakdowns after the press conference, meaning that he's now using the licensed oil formulation, but his car break down. So he's not happy. The Grid chairman is not happy. So you, which is the Northland Petroleum, okay, the one that's selling the technology to the Grid company, receive lawyer's letter claiming damage. Okay, meaning that the Grid company chairman is trying to sue Northland Petroleum, okay, claiming about damage of his expensive car and reputation. Okay, poor quality NP oil responsible for engine failure, right? That was the claim. And then this is the pictures of oil sludge inside the engine is enclosed together. All right. So this is the chronology of what happening. You have a call from the chairman of your company, NP, yeah? you are the company members, you are the company staff, NP, Northland Petroleum. So your boss call, I need you to put a team together, have a look at the situation and report back to me. So that is your boss instruction. What happened to that car? Do we fight or settle? Okay. So you need to support your boss to decide whether you have to admit that this is your fault and you do settle, or you can fight about what is happening based on your uh, data, based on your whatever reasons that you have. Okay. So this is this again what is actually happening. So you need to form a task force to investigate and recommend actions. So this is a problem, a scientific problem, and you have to state, you have to find out what is the actual issue, what is the problem statement. Okay. So worksheets, how car engine works, how lubricants are formulated, viscosity index improvers, views from car makers, extending service life, because these things are the things that involve for you
Recording in progress.
study the problem. Okay, so in this practice, it is suggested for you to have 3 workshops, but 2 meetings are enough. You just have you need 2 meetings are enough. So what happened? Compare notes and gather information. So everybody has to do their job, read, get information, do some analysis, and then the second workshop, probably reports and recommendation. So your first task, first meeting, read the material in the case study briefing. Okay, there'll be some materials given together. Make sure you understand the problem, which is a problem statement similar to your postgraduate study. Work out how you're going to do the worksheet all together or divide tasks. So you have your group members, probably 5 to 6 of you. You can divide, or you can just sit together, read everything together. It's up to you. And then the next one is answer the question, analyze which of these questions bear the problem of the car, list and discuss any potentially relevant sources you have found. So this is for group 1. I know that you don't know, some of you might know, some of you do not know about the oil, engine oil, but so you have to study. Okay, these are some informations about the engine oil. Second workshop. Third workshop, because it's supposed to be you run the analysis, but since the analytical data is already given to you in this information, report to chairman. Okay, what happened, what are the factors, whose fault was it? Is it yours, or is it actually someone else? Do we settle or do we fight based on the report that you will be given to the chairman? How to stop this happening in future, recommendation. So this is what actually you have to fulfill. The main things that you have to do is to explain to the chairman what actually happened, any factors, whose fault. Okay, based on your justification, do we settle or you fight the court case? Or how to stop this definitely in future? A recommendation to reformulate your oil. Okay, so right. Okay, so you read this first. Okay, and I will give you because there are supporting information for this one. I will give you the supporting information as soon as possible in the Putra Blast. But you need to, everybody needs to read this first for group 1. Okay, so let me move to group 2. Why it's not charging? Okay, so group 2 task is called just now is sticky situation. This is called Tales of the Riverbank. Probably some of you has gone through this practice. Okay, content is still loading. Just wait for a while. So this is the situation for the second group, problem-based learning. You have the issue of size, reduction in number and size of fish caught in river. Okay. So so in this case, you are the investigating officers, a group of officers investigating. Your task is to identify the possible causes and suggest any remedy. So you don't have to do the suggestion of remedy. Okay, you don't have to do that. But more important is for you to identify the causes. All right. These are the skills actually that should be obtained from this practice. Okay. This is what you need to do. Okay, once you read all those informations, whether there is a problem, meaning that somebody complained that there's a reduced numbers of fishes in that river, and probably he or she claimed that there is an environmental problem in that area. So the claim, so you as investigators should verify if the claim is correct. So the first task is whether there is a problem or it's just a hearsay. So where and when did it occur? Okay, you are given actually maps. Okay, and there are certain points where the contamination might happen. So you have to identify the where and when probably the contamination happened. The nature of the pollution, whether it is due to toxic metals or it is due to uh, pesticides. Okay, because based on that you can identify the source of the pollution and whether there are toxicological issues, or and finally who could be the contributor to this issue. So you don't have to talk about the remedy. Okay, so just remove the last point. uh, so these are the reports. The report by this uh, uh, I don't know. They president, all right, reporting about the issue of the reduced number of fish. Okay, so these are information about the river. Okay, you have to read all the informations, and this is the map. Okay, and these are the industries that is along the river. Okay, so you need to fill up, okay, survey of land use, probably from these industries, what are potential pollution, potential pollutants, and possible environmental effect. So you have to, these things are considered, if you look at the things that you need to do in the Putra Blast just now is to fill up any tables or answer questions, okay? This will be your supporting information to justify the task that you need to do. Okay, so this is the same task, whether there is a problem, where is it is happening, and who's the culprit. These are some additional informations. And you are given some data on BOD. This question has to be answered. Study the results that you have already received, which is the above results. Okay. Decide from which 3 of the 12 points you wish to sample. Decide what test you wish to perform on the 3 water samples. Okay. So that one you have to answer. This you can fill up in this form. So these are all appendix on data analysis that you can use to answer the questions. Okay, so same question, identify the probable cause of depletion in fish numbers. Meaning that you have identified it is a problem. Summarize the evidence that supports your conclusions. You decide that the contamination occur at point B, for example, and then you put in the evidence. This is the evidence that the potential contaminants starts from point B. Okay, so you base on the data given to you. Okay, there's a lot of data, so you have to study the data. So then discuss. Okay, you don't have to do this probably. How you avoid problem from this of pollution, but indicate remediation. No, okay. But the most important points is you have to answer all this. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Except for the remedy. Okay. So this will be group 2. Okay. So I think for group 2, all the informations are there. Meaning that the data is already given. Group 1, I will share the additional data, but at least you can start reading the assignment. Okay. All right. I plan to stop at before 11. So this assignment, I'm giving you a month, okay, to complete, inclusive of everything, meetings and a report submission. Okay. So for the first one, you just have to understand what you need to do, read the assignment, and then probably if you have questions, keep it first. We can discuss on Monday. Is it okay?
Okay, Prof.
Right. Okay. So I hope you can do that. Okay. Remember that your marks comes from here, the 70%. So you have to do it. No choice. We still, I don't know what happened to the two, Jia Yupeng and I don't know what. His name is no longer here. They're supposed to be in your groups. Okay. So I think that's all, everybody. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.